Yeah, and I always tell my girls if you don't stimulate your muscles with barbells, dumbbells in the gym, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Hmm.
And just kind of coming back to what we said earlier, the muscles atrophy very fast when there's a cessation in strength training.
Hmm.
And the biggest recipe for disaster is your sport specific load keeps going up and up and up. And then if you're not strength training in season, your muscle strength keeps going down, down, and down, and less likely to be able to tolerate that increasing load. I think like that's the simplest way I can put it. And I've had a lot of girls who have continued strength training in season and they're never sore. They're never fatigued. They feel like they're getting stronger. They're building a robust body composition. They're like, wow, like I still have like triceps and biceps and quads. And like that's building confidence for girls too, because they know they're strong, they know they're capable. And then on the other end of it, and I'm curious to hear some of your athlete stories. On the other end of it, I've had some girls who will only do the summer training for 2 months. Then I'll see them 10 months later,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you withered away. And they even say so themselves. They're like, Erica, I lost so much strength. Like I don't feel like as in shape as when I left the summer off season program. Like I had a girl go to college last year and it was at a junior college. They didn't have a strength coach, which was a whole other story,
Mhm.
but she didn't continue like a strength and conditioning plan for those 10 months. And when she came back to summer, she's like, I feel so weak. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it sucks you didn't have that, but there
Mhm.
had to be some stimulus going on during that time so you didn't lose all of the hard-earned muscle you worked for in the off season. It's like, why train so hard in the off season, get up for early mornings, get to the gym with your strength coach only to stop and then see them 10 months later? Like it just doesn't make sense to me, but and we'll go through ways how to fit this all in. I know schedules are busy. I know there's budgeting issues, but there's easy and also budget friendly ways to continue this. And we'll go over that soon. But do you have any athlete stories of girls who continued in season? What did you notice? And then girls who stopped and what did you notice?
Yeah, just there's a million,
Yeah.
uh, because it's every in season, right? And it's I train athletes, mostly soccer, but I have winter sport athletes, spring sport athletes, so it's every season I have out of sport and in sport at the same time. The commonalities, you guys, are this, and for one, I said this before, numbers don't lie. So the kids that train with me, they do all the right things. They dial in everything for the summer. And then if I'm lucky, oh, I'll be back in November. And then, well, winter break, so I'll be back in January. Oh, club is starting, so maybe April vacation, or oh, and it ends up being next summer. When they get back in with me, like I keep all of our program cards. Every single one of my clients has a binder, and we just keep everything. And many times I have to have like confidence and positivity talks with them because they're so down on themselves because their numbers are so low when they start back up again. The numbers don't lie. They are not as strong. They have gotten weaker. Those stories are just so abundant. On the other side of that, the other bookend is the kids that train all year long. It's this up, up, up. The numbers don't lie. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I used to warm up with 65 pounds. Now I throw 135 on there and it's like a three." That takes years, you guys. But and then worst case scenarios, I'll either get them back sometime during the season or early off season because they got injured.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's not a direct, like, if you don't strength train, you're going to get hurt. But the likelihood of you getting injured goes way up, way up. And by and large, the kids that we train that strength train year round, including in season, stay healthy. Barring the I just had this conversation with you, I think. I helped a guy through a really severe stress-induced lower back injury. It wasn't trauma, and so happy for him, got through it. And pre second day of preseason, had a displaced fracture of his big toe. Like you can't prevent that kind of stuff. He got
Hard one.
stomped on. Like you just that happens. Um that stuff we can't prevent, you guys, and that's why I'm a big proponent of not saying injury prevention
Mm.
ever. Like it's injury reduction.
But Steve, that's a tough one because that was a hard contact
Right.
injury.
We can't prevent that.
Yeah, we can't, but yeah, I would say with the non-contact stuff, we can't fully prevent it, but we can give girls a really fighting chance. And
Mhm.
too often I see girls who don't continue in season, they get these like minor tweaks like hamstring strains,
Hip
quad
flexor.
pulls that really shouldn't be happening often, especially
Mhm.
in teenage girls. So that is such a weakness issue. And I think we can really reduce those much more.
I agree. It's tough for us to use metrics to give people hard numbers. Like if you strength train, you're 89%, not absolutely not. We can't guarantee everything, and that's my whole point. There's a lot, it's preventative in nature, but what you just said is the soft tissue injuries that happen, those little tweaks, they're so abundant with the kids that don't train throughout the season. The kids that do, by and large, just it doesn't happen.
I've never seen it with girls who train with me
Right.
year round.
Right.
I can confidently say that.
Yep.
And I also was just looking at just my athlete roster over the years and girls who did strength train 1 to 2 times a week at a minimum the full year, fall soccer season, winter ECNL
Mhm.
season, spring soccer season. No ACL injuries for my athletes who did the full year and didn't take off from 3 months from me even.
Mhm.
So, I think that track record's pretty darn good. I'm not saying that,
I'd
it
say so.
never will occur, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't, but there's
Mhm.
something about doing it consistently, stimulating the muscle, not just maintaining like Dave said, but keep building. It's compound interest. Even if
Mhm.
you're a one time a weeker, I've changed my mind on this because I've seen great things happen with one time a week. Even if you're one time a weeker for several months, I would rather that than you be someone who trains 4 times a week in the off season and doesn't even see me. So
Mhm.
the one time a week compounds so much over time if you do it for the length of the 10-month season. And then maybe some months you can up it to 2 times. Even better, you can make faster gains, but the one time a week, I think it's enough of a dose to keep slowly building over time and putting money in the strength piggy bank. That's kind of how I see it.